Viewers and subscribers, welcome back to the Sports Perspective TV. As always, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate you taking your time out to watch the video, and interacting with the videos as well. Right. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you an update about the West Indies women team in their first match in the Women's T20 World Cup. They went up against South Africa. The results weren't favorable, but I'm going to be going over the details of the match and talking about the performance of the team. And also, with the CPL coming to its end in a few days, going to be giving you the updated stats of the CPL. So the leading run scorer, leading wicket taker, and leading economy rate and so on, right? So just stick around until the end of the video while we discuss all of these things, right? No, so first I'll start with the West Indies women team, right? So they played their first match today against South Africa, in the Women's T20 World Cup. Both teams are coming into the match, they were among the favorites to come out of that group, right? So it was definitely expected to be a competitive match. And it was competitive in some sense, right? So West Indies batted first, and they posted a total of 118 for six. Definitely would have loved if had gotten more, and that total turned out to be not enough for them in the end. You know, um, South Africans bowled well, but I think the West Indies could have batted better also, right? So with the bat for the West Indies in their total of 118 for six, it was Stephanie Taylor who led the way for them with 44 or 41, not out, right? West Indies last wickets, in quick intervals. The last wickets early in the innings as well. Haley Matthews went early. She made 10 off 11. I think she got out in the second over. And then the world boss, Deandra Dattin, she came out and smashed 13 from 11 balls. But then she also got out early also, right? And those are two of the main batters for the team, including Stephanie Taylor as well. But Haley Matthews and Deandra Dattin are also, expected to do a good portion of the scoring. And unfortunately, today they weren't able to spend that much time at the crease, and our score too much runs. So that kind of put the team, in a sticky position. Stephanie Taylor, being the experienced player that she is, she had to play an anchor role, and bat conservatively. Even though she got 44, she you could see that she was making a conscious effort to rotate the strike and preserve her wicket, and picking her moment when to attack, right? So it was brilliant batting by Steph in the end, considering the circumstances. Again, making 41 from 40, making 44 from 41. Shermaine Campbell, she made 17 from 21, so she was the second highest scorer in the innings. And Zayda James in the end, she made 15 from 13, in a decent partnership with Stephanie Taylor in the end to get the team up to 118 for six. The South African bowlers bowled well, especially Laba. She took 4 for 29 from her 4 overs. She was the main wicket taker for the South African team. And they also had Marizane Cap. She got 2 wickets for 14 runs from her 4 overs, in the power play. And she was the one that got the 2 wickets, the 2 big wickets, of Haley Matthews and Deandra Dattin. She was the one that got them out, so 2 for 14 from 4 overs was brilliant bowling by the by the South Africans. And overall, the South African team bowled well. Right, so South Africa in reply, they chased down the total. They got to 119 without loss, of 17.5 overs. Right, so they had 10 balls remaining. They had 13 balls remaining. Right, so from a net run rate standpoint, definitely not good for the West Indies losing the match by that big of a margin. A 10 wicket defeat in the end. Definitely not good. From a net run rate standpoint. But this is just the first match. There are still, I think, there are still at least 2 or 3 more matches remaining in the group. So if we are able to win those matches, then we should still be able to qualify. Because 2 teams advance from the group, right? So it's a bad start, but it's not over. There's still time to recover and still put on a good showing in the tournament, right? So hopefully they are able to bounce back and do that, perform better, especially with the bat, in the remaining games. You don't expect Haley Matthews to feel all the time. Deandra that thing, she looked good, before she got out. She was looking to be her normal self, batting aggressive, smashed a couple boundaries. But then unfortunately she played a shot that and she wasn't able to clear the infield and got out caught in cover. So, hopefully they can bounce back from this and you know, perform much better with the bat in the remaining matches and hopefully advance out of the group. And once you advance out of the group, anything is possible. So still have a lot of hope and faith in the team, and definitely looking for them to do good in the remainder of the tournament. Right. So that's it for the Women's T20 World Cup. Now moving on to the CPL, right? And so the CPL, there are two matches remaining in the CPL, right? So tonight, the Guyana Amazon Warriors will go up against the Barbados Royals, and the winner of that match will move on to face the St. Lucia Kings in the finals on Sunday, right? So the CPL is pretty much, like I said, finished. So in this one, just going to be giving you an update, regarding the leading run scorers in the tournament so far, the leading wicket takers, and also discussing, a bit about some of the run scorers from a West Indies standpoint, right? So the leading run scorer in the tournament is none other than none, and no surprise here, Nicholas Puran. For a while, Quinton de Kock was leading. De Kock actually had a huge lead in terms of runs scored. But Puran, definitely finished the tournament strong, with a century and then a 90, unbeaten 90 in that controversial match. So Puran, from his level matches, Puran, scored 504 runs, right? Definitely his best CPL tournament to date, getting over 500 runs. I think he's either the fourth or fifth batsman to score over 500 runs, or somewhere in that along those lines, right? So this is not something you see regular in the CPL with players getting to 500, but it has been done before. So Puran on 504. In second place, you have Johnson Charles. Yes, you heard that right. Johnson Charles is having a brilliant CPL. He's on 445 runs. And he still has the final to play. So he still has an opportunity to maybe surpass Puran in the run scoring table, right? So from 11 matches, he scored 445 runs, at an average of 44, right? In third place, we have Quinton de Kock. He's on 438 runs, from 11 matches also, right? And they could possibly have two matches remaining in the tournament. So there's still a possibility that he might be able to be the leading run scorer. In fourth place is Shimron Hetmeyer with 390 runs, right, from 11 innings. Hetmeyer, possibly have two matches remaining in the tournament as well. If Guyana are able to beat Barbados, in the qualifier too, then advance to the final. So and he's been batting well. Hetmeyer has been batting well. In fifth place is Faf du Plessis with 384 runs, right? With a match remaining as well. The Kings are in the final, right? So that's the top five in terms of scoring. I'm only going to cover the top five. But as you can see, there are more there are more batters on the list, right? But I'll just stick with the top five, right? And I'll say now, regarding Charles and Hetmeyer, right? So both Charles and Hetmeyer, they in the last West Indies series, right? T20 series against South Africa, both of them were pretty much benched, for the almost the entirety of the series, right? Hetmeyer only came in the third match, right? After the series had already after the West Indies, had already won the series. And Charles, didn't get an opportunity to play at all in the series. Right. And Charles is one that we criticize a lot, when it comes to West Indies cricket. A lot of people don't like seeing him in the team. Sometimes even me myself criticize him as well, right? But he's definitely putting his hand up and letting us the fans know, and also Darren Sammy know that, hey, I am still here. I'm still able to perform at a high level. And what better way to do it than to do it in the CPL? What better way to respond, after being benched for an entire series, right? And showing that, hey, you're still able to perform well, and score runs, and it even seems as if he's been adding adding new dimensions to his game. You know, you see him trying to play reverse sweeps and stuff like that, right? So he's still evolving at his age, so that's definitely good. You know, Shimron Hetmeyer also, right? You know, in the innings he played against South Africa, you know, he made I think it was 30 from he made a good score. I don't remember exactly how much, but he batted well. And on the back of that, you know, he's having a brilliant CPL as well, right? So good to see both Hetmeyer and Charles, you know, performing well in the CPL, you know, and just putting their hand up for Coach Darren Sammy and letting him know that we're still here, we're batting well, and looking forward to see, you know, how they do in the next series, you know, if they're picked. I do expect both of them to be included in the squad for the next T20 series for the West Indies, and we're looking forward to see how they do in those matches, right? So moving on now to the bowlers. The leading wicket taker in the tournament so far is Noor Ahmed. You know, he's taken 19 wickets from 11 matches. You know, in second place is Tikshana. You know, he with 16 wickets. You know, also on 16 wickets is Gudakesh Moti. You know, Imran Tahir on 15 wickets and Alzar Joseph on 15 wickets as well. Right. And that is the top five. Salam Keel, the Trinbagor Knight Rider spinner, he also finished on 15 wickets. So tied for fifth with Alzar Joseph, right? And again, you know, Alzari, so it's dominated by spinners. You know, Alzari is really the only pace bowler that's up there, you know, in the wickets column. You know, and that it's good to see Alzari, you know, coming back after his terrible series in England, you know, and being rested. You know, good to see him back in the T20 format, you know, and doing well, you know, and being up there among the leading wicket takers in the CPL, right? So definitely good to see, and hopefully he can reproduce similar performances for the West Indies if and when he is included in the T20 squad for the upcoming series, right? So well, that's all I have for you in this video, viewers and subscribers. You know, as always, thank you for tuning in. You know, do remember to like the video, share your thoughts in the comment section, and definitely subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on when videos are posted, right? So as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.